Alright, so the deck's again looking like we were planning on it from even the first pick in the beginning. Wow. Okay. So we have picked up the Horizon Spellbomb, which makes, the best card in this pack is this Scrap Melter right here. However, I don't know how much red we're going to be seeing pass to us because of how much we passed a 2-turn to Slags in the Embersmith earlier. So we may not see a bunch this pack, but I think this card is worth picking, and I'm doubting this Spellbomb is going to wheel. Let's think here. If we pick up the other Spellbomb, it gives our Trinket Mage another target and allows us to have 2 fixers for any color of mana, especially white with the gold mirror and blue with the silver mirror. So as much as I would like to pick up this Scrap Melter, and it is a better card, I'm going to pick up this Spellbomb so that way I can be for sure next time I see a card like Scrap Melter or Arc Trail or anything like that, I know that I can be comfortable taking it. I'd rather have a more consistent deck than one that is explosive at times and other times just kind of folds because it doesn't come together. So this Spellbomb I think fits what we have better. Alright, I like this pick here. So nothing white that we're going to take. Nothing that's interesting enough in white for us to start moving into that as well, because we do have a lot of fixing in these in our 1 and 2 drops, and even our Trinket Mage is fixing right now. Again, if we pick up more Molder Beast, Sylvok Replica is just brutal. It turns him into a 9/3 and destroys one of their guys. 9/3 trample. So yeah, Sylvok Replica is definitely the pick here. There's nothing blue we want to take. We're not aggressive Metalcraft, so Glint Hawk Idol or Chrome Steed are kind of out of the question. We're not... I'd say the card that has second most value for us would be Dispense Justice because of how many artifacts we actually have, and we are kind of playing a defensive deck to try and get to the late game, ramp into bombs. Although we need to pick up some more bombs here. Ramping into a Cold Oath of Forge Master isn't exactly exciting, but most of the bombs in blue and green are common, so we'll definitely see them. So, decisions, and we have the Horizon Spellbomb, which is more card advantage, and we have the Necropede, which is more defensive and kind of turns on Metalcraft while being defensive, kind of like the Wall of Tanglecord. I really like picking up Necropedes when you're in black, and you can like sack it to Flesh Allergy, or if you're in red, and you can sack it with Barrage Ogres, any kind of sack engine, so that way you can pull the trigger. Same thing with Perilous Mirror. I really like having a trigger. Even Culling Dace is really good. And I'm happy to pick up another Spellbomb, to be honest. If we see another Trinket Mage, I don't think we're going to see a lot of blue being passed to us this pack because of how much we passed, because we took us a while to move into it, because we just saw stuff that was still playable. So yeah, if we pick up another Trinket Mage, we'll have even more Horizon Spellbomb targets. Turns on our Metalcraft. I don't disagree with that pick. This is an interesting pick. The choices are between the Copper Mirror, the Trigon of Infestation, and the Tangle Angler. And I'm pretty solid. I'd say I'm 100% confident on which one is the right pick. I'm going to take the Tangle Angler. A, we don't have a 4-drop yet. B, we have 3 mirror to be able to ramp into this guy on turn 3. And being able to turn 3 one of these guys before they've really played a dude, especially if you're on the play, is brutal because they can't really play any guys because you can just force them to block, and anything with 1 toughness dies, anything with 2 toughness gets significantly smaller and dies the next turn. So Tangle Angler is a great card. I'm happy to see this right now, and he's one of those guys that even if you're not poisoned, you can pick him up. And yeah, we're not too sad about picking up a Copper Mirror because we picked ours up earlier, so now like we said, now we can pick up the better cards. This Thrumming Bird, let's look at if we have any Proliferate that's good. We have the Tummel Magnet, Trigon of Thought, I guess. I get Tummel Magnet's the only legitimate target, I guess, and Trigon of Thought, if you've already used 3 of the counters on it, you've probably slowed the game down enough to where we should be winning with our bombs. That being said, Untamed Might, I guess, can be used as a decent piece of removal, and if we're going to be having a lot of mana, it might be good on something like a Molder Beast with Trample. And I just don't think we have any applications for this Thrumming Bird yet. And I think the Untamed Might, just because being green-blue, it's going to be hard to find removal, and using pseudo-removal, even though we are potentially 2-for-1ing ourselves if they have some kind of removal in response to that. But I think that best fits our deck, and that's the pick you should be making, is the one that fits your deck the best. And we're not going to be playing any of these cards. So I guess we'll just hate draft a Fume Spitter, because we have 3 Mirror, and we don't want those to be popped off if we're trying to ramp. I mean, there's no blue. Actually, we may potentially play Tel'Jallad Fallen if, I don't think we're going to, but if we pick up a Liquid Metal Coating and some good Metal Craft, we may play that. So, may as well play it. You always want to pick the cards that you may potentially play. Alright, so we were talking about needing removal in blue-green, and Surtark is great with what we have right now. We already have 3, 6, 9, 12 artifacts, and we're not even done with Pack 2. The thing that we're lacking now that I would like to see, removal I'd always like to see, but right now we were talking about making the dinosaur deck. I'm going to go ahead and hide Forge Master and Tel'Jallad Fallen. I would like some more bombs in this deck, some more Molder Beasts, some more Alpha Tyranids. Molder Beasts would be great with our 2 Sylvok replicas and our 3 Horizon Spell Bombs. Those things can get big. So yeah, Surtark we're happy to see. You never want to play this guy unless you really, really, really for sure are going to have Metalcraft online, which I think we are. Because if you don't have Metalcraft, he's a 1-1 for 1, and last time I checked, that's not good. I don't think we're going to be playing anything here. I guess if we really desperately need a defensive guy, we can play that. And Withstand Death might be good with something like a Molder Beast if they try to double block it to kill it. But I don't think we're going to be playing. We already have 17 playables, good playables in our deck. So I guess we're lacking a defensive card, so we'll pick up the Sea Strider. However, I'd much rather have a Wall of Tanglecord or a Necropede or something. I'm going to hide him for now. We may side in Wing Puncture if we see... It's pretty hard to deal with Sky Eel Schools and whatnot sometimes, so this can be good. And especially if we're planning on playing some of our high power creatures like Scrapdiver, Tyranax, Molder Beast, that could be a decent sideboard. Alright, so we knew we weren't going to be seeing a lot of blue in this pack. We're seeing a lot of red and white. I don't mind picking up this Dispense Justice, again with the 3 Spell Bombs and the Gold Mirror. We can for sure splash that card in, and it may be good. I'm not a huge fan of Dispense Justice, but it's definitely not a bad card. And there's nothing else here we're going to play, so that's fine. And these last picks are pretty boring. The card we don't want to see... I guess if we're not ready for a Flameborn Hellion, we don't want to see that. Hide that. That's a late Bleak Coven. It's amazing how underrated this card is. In Black Metalcraft, he's brutal. Actually, in our last draft, we played with a Bleak Coven. He was great. Yeah, Glimmer Post.